If you haven't been down to the shops recently, you won't know that gun prices are coming down hard with the landing gear dangling. Good news, hey? To find out more, I am at the annual Browning UK press launch. There is a long menu of guns and ammunition today, and the chef's special is the new high-rib 725 Pro Trap. You may know the 725 family as Browning's workhorse sporting shotguns. Well, it is now moving in Olympic circles with both high and low ribs all fully adjustable and at prices that will make Browning aficionados squeak with lust and creak off and Perazzi squeal in pain. If you want to see more about this gun and other new shotguns from Browning and Winchester, have a look at this week's Schools Challenge TV, where we have the 725 Pro Trap High Rib on test. Before we get on to this question of prices, it is a spring scorcher today, so what is Browning hoping to prove?
Yeah, what a cracking day. We've got some prominent UK journalists, you being one, Charlie, of course, and it's always good to have you and host you over at a venue somewhere in the UK. This year it's at Bisley, so we've got a lovely historic Bisley shooting ground here. The sun's shining and I think everyone's had a cracking day.
Oh shucks, David. Who says the press are in the pocket of the gun trade? Now, in last week's Fieldsports Britain, we got sporting rifle expert Tim Pilbeam to tell us about the pluses and pitfalls of being a shooting journalist and what he thinks of Browning's new rifles, which, of course, he's already seen.
Well, today we've been looking at the Winchester and Browning new rifles coming out this year. The Browning Eclipse, which I talked about, very, very good. Loved it intensely. In fact, I do like it an awful lot. I think it'd be brilliantly popular in the UK for stalkers and fox shooters.
As well as the X-Bolt Eclipse priced at around £800, about £50 cheaper than the Forestry Commission's favourite Ticker, there are budget Browning and Winchester rifles coming out at even lower prices thanks to the continuing collapse of the euro.
The AB3, which is the next one on from the AB2, obviously, a few little changes. We've got a full dropout magazine, we've got new composite stock with a palm swell, and we've got the new Inflex Pad 2 system on the butt pad of the rifle, which makes it far more comfortable to shoot. It's a directional recoil pad. That's coming in at $499 retail this year in all the UK calibers, so 243, 308, 306 with a threaded barrel. We've got an XPR launch, which is a Winchester product. Very excited about that. That's coming in even cheaper actually, somewhere between £400 and £500 depending on the specification. And that's a cracking product. It's a very high quality product at a very low price with the Winchester badge, so it's a very accurate rifle and it's going to perform very well.
David reckons that there are two mainstream rifle markets in the UK, under £500 and over £1,400, which doesn't say much for his hopes for the Eclipse, whatever Tim may think of it. Shooting writer Jules Whicker from Gunmart is surprised and pleased.
My first centrefire rifle was a Savage 110, and I paid more for that new than these new Winchesters and Brownings are being offered. And these are more sophisticated rifles with more features. Their triggers are better. They're probably more accurate. So in 25 years, you have a better product at a lower price.
Tim reckons the reason is clear.
There's a lot of new people, entry level, a lot of people starting to use centrefire rifles in the UK. Is it their first rifle? The choice nowadays is fantastic. There's probably 6 different manufacturers who produce rifles under £500. Do they start with that rifle, or does the gamekeeper have that rifle because it's a go-to rifle? If it's worn out, you can get a new one. And then do they progress onto the mid-range ones? But the market is sub 500 at the moment, which is brilliant. And if you look at it, value for money, they shoot well, they operate well, and with a moderator, I think they're just brilliant rifles to use, and so perhaps that's why there's a growth market there for them.
Well, the choice is ultimately yours, the shooter. For more about the Browning and Winchester ranges, go to Browning.eu.
Okay, we've got 7 teams, and they're all